Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still watching Nile Cruise on RTV International from Millennial Palace, dear viewers. And of course, Egypt has launched an educational tourism initiative that will provide scholarships and residency rights, along with cultural support benefits to attract Arab, African and foreign students to study at its universities and higher education institutions for economic and educational gain and growth, dear viewers. The initiative for scholarship and educational tourism, dubbed EG Aid, was launched by, of course, His Excellency Ayman Ashur, the Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research, on the 28th of August of the year 2023. EG-AID is part of the larger Study in Egypt program under the country's national strategy for the Higher Education 2030, which promotes Egypt, of course, as a preferred study destination for international students, dear viewers. And in this context, and to know more about this very interesting topic, dear viewers, we have our distinguished guest, Mr. Ibrahim, and he is, of course, an educational expert. And dear viewers, we have all the pleasure to discuss with him more about the educational tourism. A very good day, sir. Sir, Mr. Ibrahim Tahyouhi. Sorry, sir. Okay, we have with us Mr. Ibrahim Tahyouhi, and it's our utmost pleasure to have him with us today. A very good day, sir.
Thank you. I'm really grateful. First of all, I'd like to take time to launch an initiative like that with the cooperation of the Ministry of Higher Education, the Ministry of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Ministry of Culture, and at the same time Ministry of Transport. The initiative aimed at the time from 2023 to attract how many and very many students from not only from Africa or Arab countries or Gulf and also from Europe or America and so on. In fact, I see, in my point of view, it was a good step for the Egyptian culture, for how to attract these kind of students worldwide to come to visit Egypt, to know the culture of Egypt, to know the tradition in Egypt, especially most of the Arab and most of the European are eager, in fact, to visit Egypt. When we make an initiative like that in education, in fact, it's a good step. And here I'd like to say that we have to do more steps coming. With this, my point of view, I dream to make more and more meetings and conferences, how to solve many obstacles, or some obstacles we may confront, to solve any problem we can confront. And I think, in my point of view also, and I say that with some official persons, that we have to make some kind of conferences among them, from Egypt, from Arab world, from European countries, because these conferences, like the President himself made these conferences aimed to discuss, aimed to talk, to express your
problems of the youth.
And in the same time, there is an agenda at the end of any conference to see and to put
Program.
to highlight the most important obstacles we may hinder, and at the same time we can solve. And when we listen to the thoughts of any European youth, we may face here in, I think by this way we are going to solve any problem. So the initiative again, it was a good step, because you know that the universities in here in Egypt are famous universities, great universities like Cairo and Shams. I'm not going on to say that Cairo and Shams only, but we have, for example, Mansoura, okay, Dr. Daoud Al-Kholi, in fact, because I follow this person.
Sir, it's worth to mention that Mansoura is one of the universities that bring amazing calibers, dear viewers. We have the best doctors in Egypt in Mansoura.
Yes, and I mentioned Dr. Daoud Al-Kholi is the president himself, because when I talked with him, he made a protocol, okay, or a project with Nottingham, for example, as a university. In this, I here mention one of the examples, many examples here in Egypt happened or occurred between faculties here in Egypt and the faculties abroad, or universities in Egypt and universities.
We also do have a university in Sinai, sir.
Yeah, okay. And here, in fact, I'd like to appreciate the great efforts, because when we make a project, we make a protocol between Egyptian faculty or university and European one, here we exchange experience. They know the culture of Egypt. We also exchange experience in applied okay, education. And this I want, and I'm interested in applied education, because theoretical education, you know that it's due time to apply. Most of us now are in a hurry, because the mind and the ethics or the talent of youth are in a hurry. We have to respect that, because I met many youth universities and many lecturers. We are in a hurry. They want everything to be okay, rapid, you know. And here we talk about AI, for example. Next was education, pre-higher education or higher education. If we talk about artificial intelligence, we are going to talk about that. It's very so due time. I'd like to be to say that we have to make. I want to listen or to hear every month, not every year, a conference saying that this conference held to discuss the problems, okay, in the universities of Egypt, and we make a conference for European youth to know about their impression, to listen to their impressions, the obstacles, the problems, and we have to solve them. And you know that the president said he's interested in this file of education, and I think, at my point of view, all ministers now are ready to solve any problem that they may face.
Perfect. So, sir, what advantages make Egypt a potential hub to educational tourism?
In fact, many factors. You know, first of all, okay, we studied in our books before that Egypt is characterized by its special location. So, what about the touristic places? Here we are in a very prestigious and remarkable place. I was talking with a youth, he is a student from Mexico, okay, and he told me that I came here. He surprised me because he told me that I came here to this palace, Muhammad Ali, because I studied that in Spain. There was Spain before, it was Andalus, and so there is a comparative in history, compare between the past and the present. So as a student from Mexico, it surprised me to come because he talked about that and we studied that in Spain, so I was surprised. So it's due time to know and to tell our youth, firstly, we have to persuade them that here we have a history. Firstly, we have to teach our youth, okay, the students of the university and the pre-higher education, the importance of that. And I'd like here to focus or highlight the importance of the initiative made by Dr. Tahyouhi, the former president.
Former president of Harvard.
He said that I'm going to make some curriculum, okay, in education. This curriculum aims to give the students in pre-higher education, in primary, secondary stage, the importance of tourism and how to deal with tourism, tourists in Egypt. In the same time, the ethics of dealing with them, and it was in fact a very important initiative, a very important point of view from Dr. Tahyouhi. But up till now, okay, there is nothing happened. So I send my message from this important program Nile to Dr. Tahyouhi. He is very cultured person, he is very responsible person, and I know that my message will be sent to him, and I hope, as a citizen, Egyptian citizen, to apply that. It's due time, okay, Mr. Dr. Tahyouhi, to apply a small book for tourism, about the touristic places in Egypt.
Yes, sir. This was what I was discussing with the guest before you. He is a touristic expert, and the core of the issue here today is a place like El Manial Palace is not witnessed. So no, it won't continue like this. It has to.
You mean it's for me the first time to visit this place? Okay.
You?
Yeah, it is the first time. So what about my?
So disappointed.
What about the side? So you?
Me?
Yeah.
My husband, may his soul rest in peace, was the member of parliament of this constituency. I always used to come here. Until today, when I'm coming in, I mention his name.
That's right. So don't be surprised, great audience, because we are talking as Egyptians. So if we don't know our history, if we don't know the important touristic places, I'm not going to say about all everything in Egypt, okay? Because we can't visit everything, but here it's, I think.
No, sir, we can visit everywhere, because every single tourist that comes to Egypt comes again.
Yeah,
it's not about once, it's about witnessing every place that we do have in Egypt, and they come back. They come back. And what is on top of all of this that makes my statement, or makes every Egyptian statement in the field of tourism very clear, is after the Indian people came and made their wedding here in Egypt, after they visited Egypt, and Mr. Zahi Hawass went on TV and all TV platforms, on all media platforms, and said that they were here visiting Egypt, and the bride mentioned that she wants her wedding to be in the venue of the pyramids, and she actually did her wedding in the venue of the pyramids. It was a dream for her, and she is an Indian, and she came only to visit Egypt. She decided to make her wedding here in Egypt. She even arrived very late. She put her makeup in the plane, and she landed, and she went to her destination happily, and she was so happy. And it was not only in the not only in the pyramids, but it was in 4 different amazing places in Egypt, among which are the Gem, of course, and Abdin Palace, or Muhammad Ali Palace, and the Grand Egyptian Museum, and Gezert al-Dahab, which we deny, or we not want tourists in this world knows anything about Gezert al-Dahab, where you go take a little boat or a little felucca, and you cross. Everything in Egypt is cheap, sir, compared to any country in this world. Anything in Egypt is cheap. If we're going to discuss hotels, the 4 seasons, the 5 stars hotels, everything is cheap in Egypt.
So here I'd like to focus again and highlight the importance of the Ministry of Education. Again, I hope, as Egyptian citizens, to find that, okay, this year, next year, a small book, a small curriculum, talking about what? Tourism, talking about touristic places, or the most important touristic places for our new generation, to be aware of their history, to be aware of their culture, to be aware of what's happening here in Egypt. And so by this way they will be eager and be able to tell and to persuade, because now we chat with each other. Our new generation, our sons chat with what? Foreigners. So when they send them the culture, send them the history of Egypt, I think this will be a point of attraction for youth all over the world.
Sir, if we come to discuss universities in Egypt, apart from the Egyptian universities, which of course Cairo University was on top of all universities all over the world at one point of our lives. Today we have also many international, of course, universities here in Egypt, where of course we have a wide range of universities in Egypt that are international universities, and their prices are very reasonable for everyone to get enrolled in. And
especially compared with the Egyptian pound. I was talking with some of the foreigners, frankly speaking. He told me that $1,000, okay, I can't spend it in per month. Okay, so he was happy because you know the difference between dollar and pound. This is one of the characteristics. So we have to invest in that. Okay, to attract foreign.
That's why, sir, I was mentioning that Egypt is the cheapest touristic destination for any. Even if you decide to sit in a 7-star hotel, then you're sitting at the cheapest hotel in the world. Whereas you're taking service, Egyptian hospitality is overwhelming. You will never take the hospitality that you meet with Egyptian people anywhere ever. I've gone everywhere, all over the world. There's nothing like the Egyptian hospitality and the Egyptian people, and the sense of the Egyptian people, and the kindness of the Egyptian people.
This word, okay, friendly way or kindness of the Egyptian was mentioned by the Mexican, okay, friend. He's a student in Mexico. I was talking with him before this program, and he surprised me because, actually speaking, I like Egypt. When I live in Egypt, when I travel to Egypt, I feel that I am in my home. Okay, I'm not a strange. And he's angry. He told me that I'm angry because 3 days and he will travel again to Mexico. So
but he will come back again.
Of course, he will come back, and here he will be an ambassador, okay, to his friends, to his, okay. To his
when you go back to Egypt, go to Mariel Palace.
Of course, yes. Okay. So what about if we taught this to our first, to our youth, to our new generation? At the same time, we will be ambassadors. And here, this was a project, by the way, okay. The touristic ambassador in the schools. I was talking with one of the officials also in the Ministry of Tourism. He said that I'm interested in that, and I don't remember his name now, but he's the official of the Ministry of Tourism. He told me that I am a representative of Ministry of Tourism. I have to visit.
A representative?
in the school and tell them about the many places. In the same time, I tell them how to deal with tourists. In the same time, I listen to the students. I listen to their ideas, their thoughts, because here we have to, it's due time to listen to our new generation, because new generation characterized by creativity, characterized by new thoughts, new ideas. So we have to listen to them. If we give them the chance, they are going to brainstorm. Okay. By this way, again, I'd like to refer to the Ministry of Education and Higher Education. It's a due time to we live now in the globalization era, so it's due time to make many conferences in a month. I hope to find a conference between the Ministry of Higher Education, Ministry of Education, Minister of Culture, Minister of Tourism, every month at least, to make a protocol to say we did so and we are going to our plan to do so and so and so, because all the time I see that the president himself is not going to do everything himself. So the government has a great rule.
It's worth to mention, sir, that President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has a lot on his plate, but at the same time, he's working on every sector very devotedly, and he's trying his best, and he's open to every single different idea, especially when it comes to youth and women empowerment. He is very clear in these two zones that you are going to work hard as a country on those and on both of those. His vision is this, and he will work on this, and he will continue to work on it as long as he will exist. And we, of course, are all working under the directives of President Fattah al-Sisi. This initiative, dubbed EG-Aid, of course, sir, is worth to mention from here that it is a great initiative, that we are also proud as Egyptians that we have such an initiative in Egypt, and that we should work so hard on such initiative and such idea to enhance, of course, tourism, educational tourism, international students coming to Egypt to learn in Egypt, like we send our children abroad, because the level of education abroad is really, really devoted and really high. So here in Egypt we do have our universities that are, of course, I know one of the very important and very most famous, renowned lawyers here in Egypt, that his son studies at the Faculty of Law at the Cairo University, where he was Arabic, because he wants whereas his sister, for example, took her master's from Harvard University and studied at the... no, she traveled. She studied also law, because she took after her father's legacy, of course. And so I'm showing you one family. The girl studied at London Business School of Economics and went and made her PhDs at Harvard University. And her brother, where he's taking after his father's legacy, and he's one of the most renowned lawyers. His father is a doctor in the faculty of at the Cairo University, at the Faculty of Law, where his son is studying in Arabic today to be like his father exactly, and takes after the steps of his father, which makes us all very proud. Where they can afford to go abroad and learn abroad, and they wouldn't care the least.
According to here, you mentioned three important things: affordability. You are not afford online education. Here, I wrote an article before COVID-19 talking about it's due time to apply online education, not only in higher education but also in many stages. And I said that in one university, one of my lecturers here in university, okay, in Egypt, said that once upon a time or in the future, okay, no one will be obliged to travel from Aswan to come to Cairo University and so on, because the education or information will be with you all the time. And here I'd like to appreciate the great efforts of online education at a good time. In the same time, the study here in Egypt, you can find, this is my message to all foreigners, all youth who are watching Nile TV International, that if you come to Egypt, you will find with only Arabic study, English, you can find Deutsch, you can find French. So many universities now, many faculties, okay, like Faculty of Education, Faculty of Alson, Faculty of Commerce, you have Arabic, English, and French, and so on. You will find many universities here in Egypt. At the same time, I'd like to say that online education will make it easy for those students from all over the world to study. For example, for me, I took a certificate from Cambridge University, okay, and we studied online. So I hadn't at the time to travel to Cambridge in London or in England to study. So we took the certificate here in Egypt. For also in America, Belford University, I took some master degree from Belford University online. That's right. So online education now, I'm saying that because it became
It facilitates. It facilitates. Yes, it makes it easier. Yes. Of course, sir, the initiative for scholarships in educational tourism, adopt EJAID. Of course, it's of all pride for every Egyptian here in Egypt, and we hope, sir, that those responsible of this initiative work so hard to make it reach and the peak of the level of excellency and
to achieve our hopes.
to achieve your hopes and to achieve your hopes and dreams and achieve your enthusiasm, of course, and of course be of excellence and be on peak, and we one day be on top of all in the world of education all over the world, like we used to be always.
Finally, I'd like to say that when I dream as an Egyptian citizen, when I'm going to see in the future this happened in Egypt.
Exactly, when I was just saying soon.
No, I'd like to see this happening.
Yes.
I hope.
And we do have these scholarships here in Egypt. We do have this initiative in Egypt. We reached the excellency in the world of education here in Egypt because we are all Egyptians when they decide to do something, since the pharaohs. Then there's, and I remember President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in the opening of the Suez Canal when he mentioned, I said, finish this in 1 year and it's done. In 1 year we're back to the world of the pharaohs. Egyptians are the pharaohs. Thank you, sir, for being with us in today's episode of Nile Cruise. It's our utmost pleasure. We hope you all success in this amazing initiative. We meet you again when we reach the excellency in this initiative. Thank you very much for being with us. Dear viewers, stay tuned. I'll be back again. Don't go away.